This is going to be a really hard video to watch, so I want to give you the option to not watch it. Now, it's going to be about extreme depression and what that is like and the danger that that can cause for a person. So if that is not something you want to watch, go with my blessing. I love you and I'll see you next time. I recently had a conversation with somebody that I'm close with that made me realize, even somebody who you think has had experience with mental illness or people that have mental illness or, you know, brushes with depression themselves or whatever, like most people just simply cannot fully understand what it's like to live with this particular kind of mental illness. Or, you know, any mental illness, but I can't speak for other types of mental illness or other people's journey. I can only speak for mine and for my particular brand of mental illness, which is chronic, deep depression with years-long desire no longer to be here. So I'm just going to speak about my experience with that brand of depression. Because, you know, there's no way that I'm going to be able to make the people, everybody in my life, understand it. I think because, you know, I think it's hard to hear these things from somebody you're close with. Sometimes it's harder to believe it coming from somebody you're close with. And also, I think because so many of us with this brand of depression or mental illness have a desire to sort of shield the world from it, from the real badness of it, and so we will only show you our happy face, right? And I don't want y'all to think that that's us faking it so much, because it's like the moon. Like, we only ever see the light side of the moon, and that is a true side. Like, there's not anything fake about that side of the moon. It exists. But at the same time that that side of the moon exists, so does the dark side. The dark, cold, lonely side. It's always there, no matter what we're seeing from this side of it. You know what I mean? So because so many of us will only ever show you the light side of ourselves, it can be very difficult for people to believe what's really happening on the inside, particularly people that are close with us. So maybe if I come on here and I just be 1000% vulnerable and I try my hardest to explain what it's like in our brains, whether we've got a smile on our face at the moment or not, maybe I can help folks out there who have never dealt with mental illness, like to a severe degree inside themselves, but they do have people in their life that have mental illness that they cannot understand, and that maybe they're even judging a little bit, maybe even a lot. If I can maybe possibly help them understand, because they're not close to me, so maybe that distance will help them understand more or believe more what I'm saying, and maybe, just maybe, have a little bit of grace with the people in your life that you think aren't doing enough. So firstly, I mean, I have to admit that explaining this is going to be the hardest thing I've probably ever tried to do. I've spent the last, because, you know, I had this conversation about a week or so ago. It was followed by perhaps the 3 hardest days of my entire life. I think I was in more danger from myself than I've ever been. But the sharpness of it has started to wear off, and I decided to make this video. So I have spent the last few days trying to come up with words to express it. And it's so hard to explain. It's like trying to explain the color blue to somebody who's never seen the color blue. And so I don't expect that I'm going to be perfect about it. I don't expect that you're going to come away from this video just fully understanding it and getting it on a gut level. But I'm really hoping that I can at least, you know, get you started down the path of understanding it, if that's what you want. Obviously, if you don't want that, now is the time to click off. So imagine yourself at a young age being told to work on a 5 billion piece puzzle with no picture to work from, and half the pieces are turned upside down and you cannot turn them right side up. You just don't have either the wherewithal or the tools to do that. And society has said you have to work on this puzzle until you get it right. And so you start and you spend years working on this puzzle that cannot be completed with the tools that you have been given. And you see other people working on the puzzle, no problem. Most of them have been given the picture so they can see what they're working on. So you see them working on the puzzle and having, maybe some frustration with it, but mostly being able to, put piece in after piece after piece. And you are watching yourself struggle, and you start understanding maybe that this puzzle might be a little different for you than it is the people around you. But society says you have to keep working on this puzzle. So you are going to keep working on the puzzle. And year goes by, and year goes by, and year goes by, and you are more and more frustrated and more mentally drained. And you start to recognize after many years, I will never solve this puzzle. But if I don't continue to work on it, society is going to hate me. So I will keep working on the puzzle. And it is taking so long, and everybody else has already completed the puzzle. By a certain age, you look around and everybody's already completed their puzzle, and they're just living their life, the puzzle behind them, and you are still with bloody fingers and devastated muscles trying to pick up piece after piece and figure out where it belongs. And at a certain point, for some of us, we get to the point where we just cannot pick up another piece of that puzzle. We get sick to our stomach just looking at the puzzle. We feel nothing but darkness in our souls when we think about the puzzle. But we know that if we don't keep working on it, everybody around us will hate us or judge us or pity us or whatever it is that they're going to feel about us. It's not going to be a good feeling, I promise you that. And still, at some point, we have to stop. The choice is taken away from us. Our brain simply cannot concentrate on that puzzle for another second. And that's what it's been like for a lot of us. A lot of us who try to fit into society and do the things that we're supposed to do for society. We're supposed to stay clean, and our place is supposed to be clean, and we're supposed to work a 9-to-5 job or 40 hours a week. But we haven't been given the tools. We haven't been given all of the pieces of the puzzle. And so at a certain point, many of us just cannot anymore. And so it looks like we're just sitting there doing nothing. It looks like we are infinitely lazy. We are worthless human beings. We are making everybody's life more difficult. We're a drain on family and friends and society. We are a wart on humanity. And I understand that that's what it looks like from the outside. But try for a minute to imagine what it's like on the inside. Every single second of every single day, we are in our heads, begging us to pick up the puzzle again, pleading with us to try. There is a voice inside our heads telling us, begging us, pleading with us to end it, to be done, to stop the pain, to rest. And we have to continually, every day, all day long, make the choice not to do that. Some of those seconds are really, really long. The minutes just drag by. And you have to keep making the decision over and over and over again to stay, to just continue to exist. Allowing existence to happen with those of us with this kind of brain is so hard. It is hard work. It takes every ounce of mental energy we have. And I understand how hard that is to fully get. But there is a reality out there that is just staring us in the face. For all of you guys who just think we're all faking it and we're all just lazy and we just won't work and we just won't try, what do you say about the 700,000 annual people every year who lose this fight, who cannot keep existing, who cannot make another decision for the 700th time that day to stay? The thing I most want to get across is that we aren't doing nothing. Whether it looks like we're just sitting there and staring, or we're playing a video game, or we're watching a video, or whatever it is that we look like we're doing at any given moment that is not being productive, or whatever it is you think they should be doing in that moment, they're not just doing nothing, and they're not just playing that video game, and they're not just doing whatever it is that they look like they're doing in that moment. They are at that moment and every second of every day, they are inside their head having to continually make the decision to stay. Because that is not what they want. That is not what we want. We want it to be over. We want to rest. We want to just lay down and stop feeling this for a while, forever. And there is a very, very loud voice in our heads telling us that that is the very best thing we could do. Just stop existing. It is the very, very best thing we could do, not only for ourselves, but for everybody around us, and most definitely for society. But for those of us who have a reason we have to stick around, a person in our life we don't want to hurt, whatever it is for each of us, for those of us who know that we cannot actually take that escape route, we have to make the decision over and over and over again. Okay, I'll stay. Okay, I'll stay. Okay, I'll stay. I'll stay. I'm gonna stay. I'll stay. I'll stay. Over and over. And that is every moment of every day. No matter what else we're doing, no matter what we look like we're doing, we are every second of every day choosing to stay, to allow the existing to continue. We're already so tired from trying to do that puzzle for so long. And then when we realize that we cannot and we will never be able to do that puzzle, we then have to start the work of just existing in a world that really doesn't want you to, because they don't understand, and I get that. And many don't believe. They just don't believe. It's like people believe in mental illness, but they never actually believe anybody they know or hear actually has it. It exists, yes, but some here in this sort of nebulous place. It's not really any of the people I know. They're all lying and using it as an excuse. But 700,000 people a year around the world. 48,000 in the United States alone. 48,000 people in the United States alone. We're not faking it. So to believe, just to believe because you aren't in somebody's head, or because you see them laughing sometimes, or because you see them being able to do some things sometimes, ultimately because you are on the outside looking in and all you can see is the window curtain, you assume that inside that house there's something going on that is not what's happening. That person isn't being lazy. That person is using every ounce of energy they have to exist. It takes every ounce of my energy to get up in the morning, to tend to my bodily functions, to feel the moments pass, and deny that part of myself that would escape it all. Right now, in this moment, I just want to escape it all. I'm so tired. I feel the minutes pass, and it's like mud in my lungs. I don't have the luxury of letting go. I have to stay for my daughter, whom I have asked not to watch this video, so I really genuinely hope that she doesn't, because I don't want her to hear these things come out of my mouth. She already knows too much about the truth of what's in my heart and my body and my mind. I've already told her too much. So I really hope she doesn't watch this. From somebody who you do not know personally, I am telling you that it is the same for the people in your life that look like they're just sitting there staring at a wall, or entertaining themselves with something frivolous, or whatever it is they're doing that you think they shouldn't be doing. I wish you could understand the energy expenditure that is going on inside of their head, and how absolutely exhausted they are, as though they have climbed Mount Everest every single day of their life just by allowing the seconds to pass until the day ends and you can finally just go to sleep and not think about it for a little while. And then another day starts and you know it's going to be another however many seconds a day lasts, where you're going to feel it every moment. The pain and the exhaustion and the frustration and the confusion and the sadness and the anger, the shame, so much shame. I'm drowning in shame every freaking second. There's nothing you can say to me that I haven't already said to myself. Every negative thing that you feel about me, I feel it 20 times as much as you do. Everything you wish that I could do, I wish I could do so bad. I would give anything to be able to work and go work for 8 hours a day and then come home and just chill and be worry-free for a few hours. I'm in the process of editing this video, and I realized that I wanted to add one more thing. And it might be kind of detrimental to my channel to say, but I feel like it's relevant, and so I'm going to say it. I would give anything in the world to be able to work, even more now than before, because I am not loving van life. Maybe I would like it more if I was in a bigger van, or I was in a different place, or maybe not. I don't know. But I don't love it. And I haven't wanted to admit that to myself, because I'm trying really hard to just look at it for the goodness that it is. But it's the truth. It's the truth. I can't deny it to myself or to you guys anymore. This is not the way that I want to live. It just isn't. My feet are always dirty. And I have been trying really hard to look at the bright side and make the most of it and enjoy the adventure of it. And there has been good moments. There are good moments. I mean, right now I'm in a beautiful spot. There are good moments, but overall, I would give anything to be back in a home with a flushing toilet and a refrigerator that is not constantly on the brink of dying because I'm running out of power, and to be able to be on my computer as much as I want to be on, or just sit on a comfortable couch in a climate controlled room. Like, I would give anything. And if I could work, that's what I would do. I might be inconvenienced for the 8 hours a day that I'm at work, but like the rest of the time I'd get to just chill with air conditioning. I'm not dreaming of a big mansion somewhere. I just want a cute little old rundown piece of shit house way out in the country with a garden and some chickens. That is a completely doable goal for somebody who can do. But I don't have that luxury. I can't afford it because I can't work. And I'm not trying to dog van life. I think it's wonderful in a lot of ways, and I think it's wonderful for a lot of people. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to have the van because I know how much worse everything would be if I didn't have that van. And I know that I am actually a really, really, really lucky person because so many people with my type of mental illness and absolutely end up on the street, and I could so well be there. In fact, I still fear that is an actual, still real possibility for me. I could fall, I could continue to fall, and then I lose the van too. And that is a real possibility. So things could always get worse, and I'm really, really, really grateful that they are what they are. But if I could work, I would. I would flip burgers for 50 hours a week if it meant the other umpteen hours a week I could be in that little house out in the country. It's not because I don't want to. I want to. I want to so bad. It's all I ever think about. So just know that if there was anything I could do to change who I am and what I am, especially now in this moment in my life, I would. If I could, I would.
Instead of feeling this anxiety and worry, just constant, it just never goes away. It just never goes away. Every moment of every day for me is filled with anxiety and sadness. And this heavy, heavy emptiness. Like a weighted blanket just smothering everything. And there are flashes of happiness. That's usually when I turn the camera on for my vlogs. And flashes of anger. But those are just flashes. The worry and the sadness and the emptiness is constant. And then to find out a loved one thinks all the bad things about me that I think about me too. I just want the folks out there who deal with this kind of brain to have a little more understanding, to experience a little more grace, those seconds that tick by. For those of us who deal with this, and they make it through those hundreds and hundreds of seconds every day. They make it to the end of the day. That is an accomplishment. I know it doesn't look like it from the outside, but I am telling you, that is a huge accomplishment that they did that day. They accomplished that. They chose over and over and over again to stay when every fiber of their being is begging for release. They chose to stay again and again and again until the day finally ends, and that is a huge accomplishment. And for so many of us, it is the only accomplishment that we are able to achieve that day. And I know for society that's not enough, but for those of us in our lives who need us to stay, who need us to be here, that is enough. I'm saying that to myself as much as I'm saying that to you, because I know that's not what it feels like. I know it feels like it's not enough, and that we will never, ever, ever be enough, and that we will just be tired and exhausted and sore for the rest of our lives. And the truth is that so many of us, that is the truth. That's what we have in store for us. And even knowing that, we continue to make the choice to stay. That is an achievement. You did good, baby. You did good sticking around. You made it another day. You did it. You did it. And that was so hard for you to do. And you did it. And I'm really proud of you. And I'm really glad you're here. And we don't need anything else from you other than that. Just let the existence happen as much as it hurts. You did good. And I know even as I'm saying the words how hard it is to internalize that and believe it, and maybe for many of us we never actually will. Still feels good to hear though, sometimes. And I understand that there's going to be people that are watching this video who think, well, you just have to choose to be... God, that's the worst one. You just have to choose how you're gonna feel. You have to wake up in the morning and just choose how you're gonna feel. Like, it's so much easier if you just choose to be happy. I swear, sometimes I want to strangle those people. Because Lord knows I've tried that. You know, I believed that too for a while. Like, I did. I read those books. I really thought, okay, I just got to choose it, you know? As somebody who has tried just about, I can't think of hardly anything of those things that I haven't tried. At the time, fully believing that they would do the trick, you know? Thinking that I just needed to just do something different. And then I could be different. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, just please, I'm just begging you to understand that those folks in your life who look like they're not doing enough and they are just lazy bums mooching off of society, if you could understand the marathon they are running in their brain every single day, every moment of every day, and how tired they are and how their muscles, their proverbial, you know, brain muscles are shaking with the effort of it. They are trying. They are working. It just doesn't seem like that from the outside. But they are working so hard just to stay in this world that they do not want to be, and that the majority of the people in the world do not want them to be there. Not in the form they're in now, anyway. A form they cannot change. And they're so tired. I still don't feel like I've really explained it very well. It's such a difficult thing to explain. Because the truth is, most of us don't understand it any better than you do. Psychiatric professionals don't understand it any more than you do. They don't know. Like, they don't. They don't understand it. They might sort of get the edges of it. But they don't understand the meat and butter of it. Meat and bread, meat and potatoes. You know what I mean? So, like, if the people experiencing it do not understand it, and the medical professionals who have dedicated their life to understanding it do not understand it, how on earth can any of you guys understand it? And I get that, and I don't judge you for it at all. But you can still have a hard time understanding something and still think somebody deserves love and patience. Because 700,000 people a year lose that battle. And I don't want your loved one to be the next person. And I don't want you to have to live with that for the rest of your life. So please just allow for a second that they are telling you the truth and that they really are doing the very best that they can. And the little energy they have left, let them use that to continue existing. And I don't know how else to say it, so I guess I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. To anybody who made it this far, thank you so much. I hope with all my heart and soul that this makes somebody's life just the tiniest bit easier and they can avoid the last week that I had. And if it helps the people who don't deal with that understand it, or even not understand it more, but still choose to have a little more patience with the people in their life that they don't understand, just out of fear, if for no other reason than just fear that maybe they might be the one that triggers the worst to happen. Like that, it sounds horrible to say, but that is the actual thing that we're dealing with here. All right. I guess that is as much bemoaning as I intend to do on video today. I really appreciate you guys coming and listening to this, and if you have any questions, let me know, and I will do my best to answer as many comments as I can. I struggle really hard with that because of my own, exhaustion, but I will do the best that I can to answer as many questions as I can. In fact, put your questions below that you might have about this topic, and I'll do a video about it. I'll do a Q&A video specifically about what it's like to live with this, and or questions you may have about how you can support people in your life who live with this. And I may not have proper answers for all of them, but
I think it would be good. So yeah, put any questions you have down below. I think that it would be a great video. So do that if you don't mind, if you want to. And I should have an opening gift video out soon, and then I should have a vlog out soon, hopefully-ish. I mean, you never know with me, but I love you all, and I'm very grateful you are here, and I can't wait to see you again, and okay, I love you, bye.